Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to day 9 of KnowHow Academy's Power BI free live training. My dear viewers, I thank you all on behalf of KnowHow Academy for showing your interest, for spending your valuable time with us in attending these live sessions of Power BI from KnowHow Academy. My dear viewers, in these 8 days of free Power BI live training, we have learned various parameters in Power BI. We have learned different visualizations in Power BI. We have seen different transformations under Power Query Editor in Power BI. We have solved a lot of problem statements. We have worked on data cleaning. We have seen the types of refreshers. We have seen how we have to create the security. So lots of different parts of Power BI we have covered in these 8 days. So now today in day 9 we are going to learn the data manipulation. We are going to learn merge and append queries. We are going to learn the split columns. We are going to see how to use the conditional columns, what exactly is index column. So what are we going to specify it technically when we talk about Power Query Editor, what is custom column, advanced editor, data source settings. So all these things we are going to cover today in day 9. So my dear viewers, let me explain it to you in a very easy way that whenever I am talking about Power BI, or whenever I am talking as for example, let me take a role as a data analyst, or let me take a role as a business analyst, we have to work end to end on the data here. So the time when I am telling that we have to work end to end on a data, then don't we know, or aren't we having a perception that when I am working with the data, when I am working with the huge data set, what are the consequences that I can face? What are the difficulties that I have to face? What are the struggles that I have to do on the data? So this is a very interesting question that everyone will have. Now, when we are working on this data, it is very obvious that the complete data will be unstructured or it will be unorganized. Now when we don't have a data in a structured and an unorganized way, it is our responsibility to go and perform the data cleansing. Under data cleansing, we might have n number of things to do. That's a secondary aspect. Now a question to you all, those who are listening to my live chat right away. Okay, I'm just asking you a question that what are the consequences, what are the challenges that you all have faced when you are working with the data? Can you please name any few consequences or changes that you have faced with your data when you have newly started working with the data, if you would like to talk about? Data duplication, very good. the important consequences or challenge that everyone face, data duplication. Data duplication values, data formatting, okay. Missing data, yes, right. Filling null values, okay. Wrong data types, yes. So especially in append queries, okay, correcting names, all right. So now let me even ask you this question. From the audience who have replied me, thank you so much for your interest in replying. So those who have replied me, let me consider Mr. Anil, we have Mr. Sunil Kumar, and We have Mr. Premchand here. Okay, so you have told that we face the difficulty with data duplication. Am I right? And you have also told that the missing data. Okay. Let me take one more reply here from the comments. Let me consider wrong data types, append, missing data, data formatting, data duplication. Okay, so now let me ask you question number one. As you all have replied that you will be facing the difficulty with the data duplication. Yes, even you and I, whenever we are working on a real-time data with a huge data sets, yes, we face a problem of data duplication. Now let me ask you a question when I am talking about data duplication. Okay, let me consider. Let me just show you this one in a small way so that you can able to understand it in a better way. So I have a question to you all. Okay, so let me see who are going to answer this one. So whenever I take any Power BI class, I'll ask this question for sure. So let's consider that we have a table. Okay, so what we are having? We are having a table. Let's consider that we have a column called ID. Okay, we have a column called ID. We have another column called name. We have another column called name. We have another column called region. Okay, so let's consider the another column called address. I have another column here called address, and I have another column here called state. Okay, called state, and another column called contact. Let's consider phone number. Let's consider phone number. All right, so question number one. The question number one is that if I consider that this is my customer table. If I consider that this is my customer table, so do we have the same ID for every customer? Is it right or wrong? Every customer will be having the same customer ID. Is this statement true or is it statement false? I mean, is it right or is it wrong? Can anyone please answer this one? No. What Mr. Anil is telling, it's no, it's wrong. So every customer will have a unique ID. Am I right? Every customer will have a unique ID. Now coming to the point, every two customers, for example, I have the details of customer with some 6 names. Okay, 6 names. Out of these, 3 customer names are same. So is it possible? Is it possible? I have 6 customers total 6 customers, out of which 3 customer names are similar. Will we get this scenario in real time? Is this can happen? Just tell me yes or no. This scenario can happen? Possible. Okay? Yes. Thank you. So that is possible. Yes, you are right. Sunil Kumar, Anil, Shabir Ahmad. Okay, you are true. Mr. Anish. Yes, Premchand. Right, thank you. So it is possible. Okay, now done. I'm talking about one by one. So let's consider that the ID column is unique, accepted. Okay, we might get the duplicate names. Names might be similar to anyone. My name is Asif Hussain. There might be many Asif in the world. Alright, so now I have the region information similar. Let's consider there are total 6 customer details and I have 5 regions which are similar. So should I consider that I have to remove duplicates from these 5? Is it the right approach? Is this the right approach? Okay, so let me repeat the question once again. I have total 6 customers details. Out of this total 6 customers, I have 5 regions which are similar. I have 5 regions which are similar. So should I consider to remove duplicates from these 5? Is it allowed or it is not allowed? That's my question. Okay, right. It is not allowed. The reason that it is not allowed because every customer might belong to the different region, but many of the customers might belong to the same region as well. I am from south, so there might be many Asif who are belonging to south. That is possible, right? Now coming to the point, I have these addresses which are similar. Okay, I have the duplicate addresses. Okay, let's consider I have the duplicate addresses. I have okay, I have various addresses which are duplicate. Okay, so now I have to correct these duplicates. Either I have to replace the address values or I have to remove the duplicates. Okay, I have to eliminate the duplicates. So this is the step where I can go and work on duplicates. Yes or no? Can you please answer it to me? Yes or no? Okay, so what Mr. Sunil Kumar is telling, it is yes. Anil, no. Okay. Still, I am waiting for the answers. My question is that all the address column that I have, in that address column, I have the duplicate address which is mentioned. Okay. A duplicate address which is mentioned. So should I try to remove the duplicate addresses or I should not remove the addresses at all? So for your reply, Mr. Anil, the point is that every customer is from different region, every customer is from different state, then the addresses cannot be same. Am I right? So it means that the address column is repeated. Okay. In this place the address column might be repeated. Okay, so for your question, let us take this scenario that let's consider that one person is from Telangana, one person is from Andhra, one person is from Tamil Nadu, one person is from Kerala, one person is from Karnataka, okay, one person is from Gujarat, okay, one person is from Maharashtra. Okay, so like this we have the different states and every address that we have it for each state is the same. So this cannot be possible. Highly this cannot be possible, right? So now the point is that my question is that should I try to replace it or should I try to remove the duplicates? That's my question. Instead of removing, can we extract like a dimension table or will it be complex? So what is the point of extracting? Okay, it's very simple. We can just go and replace it. All right. So let's consider that the address, it's not known to us. Okay, it's some random address which was entered by the customer. So we can go and replace it. Okay, very simple. Okay, we can go and replace it. Okay, so now if we try to remove the duplicate, so let's consider one more point here. So for your answer, okay, for your question, instead of removing, can we extract like a dimension table? So that will again become, yes, it will become a complete complex part. For just one simple step, you are creating one more table. So you are increasing the data model, you are increasing the size. There are a lot of steps that comes into the picture. So it's a complex method. Okay. Now replace is an option. Okay. The reason that we are trying to replace is that, so we are aware that this particular address is not from this particular state. Okay. Now my question, I'm talking again about the consequences. So let's consider that I have only 6 records here. I have only 6 values here. I can go and replace. What if the case I have some 100 million rows? What if the case if I have 100 million rows? What should I do? What if the case if I have 100 million rows? It is very difficult for me to go and replace. It is very difficult for me to go and replace each and every record in these 100 million rows. So what should I do? What is the right approach? Can anyone answer it to me? Replace millions of rows at once? No. I know that Power BI is user friendly, but not that much user friendly. Okay, can we replace millions of rows at once? No. Okay. If it doesn't give us value, removing will be the best option. Okay. You mean that removing the entire address column? That's what you mean? Create a list. Okay, we can create a list. Yes, that is possible. So after we create a list, what is the next approach that you would like to do? We can remove them. Okay, remove the duplicates. That's what you are talking, or removing the entire address column. See, people, Sunlit. Okay, so the time when you are replying, okay, please be in a very clear way. So we can remove, you are right, but what remove? You want to remove the entire column, or you want to remove the duplicates? Remove the duplicates. Okay, remove the duplicates. Now we are coming into the line. Okay, so now when you are telling that remove duplicates, there is another question that I have. The question is that, okay, let's consider there is a record number 5. Okay, record number 5. Let's consider name is Asif, myself. Okay, a region, let me consider as South. Okay, let me consider as South. All right. So now what I can do, here in the address, I have, let's consider some random XYZ 1 2 3 4 whatever address it is. Let's consider the state as Tamil Nadu and phone number some blah blah blah, some number. Okay, so now you are trying to remove the duplicate of a specific row. Then if you are trying to remove the duplicate in a specific row, okay, if you are trying to remove a duplicate of a specific row, then of a specific value, let's consider, not a row, for a specific value, if you are trying to remove the duplicate, then don't you think that when we try to remove the duplicate of this particular value, the adjacent column's value will also be removed? If this is the case, am I right or am I wrong? If I try to remove a specific value here from a particular record, then if I am trying to remove the duplicate, then the adjacent columns values will also be removed. Am I right or am I wrong? Yes, that is right. The adjacent values will also be removed. Okay. Now coming to the point, how should I avoid this problem? Only this specific value I have to remove the duplicate, but the adjacent columns information should not be removed. Okay, it should not be disturbed. So how should I overcome this problem? Can anyone please reply me in the chat box? Can we select all the data then remove just like in Excel? See, the point is that you are telling in a very simple way, but that will be a problem if there is a data model created, if there is a schema created. Okay, so again it is dependent on some other table as well. So you have to think over that. People, what can be the answer? Okay, when I am trying to remove the duplicate of any one particular value, then my next particular values will also be removed. That should not happen. So how should I avoid and overcome this problem? Okay, Power Query only, but what can we do in Power Query? I think we can summarize data or group by. Okay. Yes, if we remove one value is removed, entire data of that unique ID or name will be removed. Yes, Premchand, you and I are facing the same problem, man. Okay, so that's the problem. So now how should we overcome it? Alright, so you think over that till we complete the session. Try to reply me in the chat box. Till then, we will continue with our particular subject. Alright, so now what I am doing, I am coming to transform data here. Where my Power Query editor will be opened up. Okay, it's a very simple thing that as soon as we open it up. All right. Okay, so we have the sandwich sales data. Okay, so I just want to remove these particular parameters that we have created. Okay, I just want to remove the parameters that we have created. Okay, so let me do one thing. I have cleared the filter. Alright, so now people, now see here in Power Query editor. Okay, so there are many things that we can do in Power Query editor, but there are so many things that we cannot do in Power Query editor. Alright, so for this what we have to do, we have to use DAX functions, do the calculations there. So that's again a different story. Okay, that's again a different story. Alright, so now what's happening here? Alright, so let's consider that I have to separate. Okay, as you can see that the type of the sandwich name that if you can see here, we have Thai underscore CKN underscore I ETAL underscore SUPR underscore yum. Okay, so now I want to split these into 3 different columns. So how should I do that? Conditional column. You are talking about this conditional column, Mr. Sunil Kumar. You are talking about this conditional column. This conditional column is something which is completely different. Okay, so we don't use this conditional column here. It's very simple that what we do is that we just go and split it. Okay, as simple as that. So what I'm going to do, so I'm going to the split column here. So under split column, okay, so I can use the delimiter. Okay, I can use the delimiter. So you can see that the delimiter, it can be underscore, okay, so outer character. Then yes, I can, if I just click on okay, so we can see that ETL is in the separate column, okay, the middle name, the middle letters are in a separate column, and the last letters which were there, they are in a separate column, right? So we can use delimiter here with, rather than going to conditional column somewhat so advanced way. So let's work on this one. So it is very simple that we can go to the split column. All right, that's fine. So we are, see here, whenever we are trying to use split column, we can use it in many ways. When I'm talking about a delimiter in the sense, it can be a space, it can be a underscore, it can be hyphen, it can be comma, it can be full stop, it can be double quote, it can be single quote, it can be anything. Okay, so whatever the delimiter that you are trying to use in that particular data that you have it, based on that we are trying to split it. We are splitting a column, very simple. Okay, so now what we are doing, here, if I even want to go and extract it, okay, so let's come back, I'll just go here with the normal, I'm coming back into my normal sandwich name, okay, and here what I would like to do is that I will go to extract, okay. Then what I'm going to do here, you can use the characters, okay. So let's consider that you want to extract only the first 3 or 4 characters or the first 4 or 5 characters. Then you can go with this particular option called extract, where you can use the first characters as an option and you can use the last characters as an option, okay. So that's one of the interesting things that you can use it. Now the point is that under add column section, so let me show you one interesting thing here. So let's consider we have the unit price, right? Okay, so we have the unit price here. So let's see here, in this unit price, our starting price is 9.75, and if I start showing it in a descending way, so the maximum total price that we have, which is 83, okay, so that's what it is. It is 83, am I right? So now what I am doing, okay, so now what I am doing, I'm using some question here, I would like to use some question here, okay. So what I would like to use it here is that, what I would like to use it here is that, so let me just show it to you with just a small question, okay. So 9 is our starting and 83 is our maximum. So my question here is that, what I am going to do, I am going to choose one condition, okay. I am going to choose one condition here. What is that particular condition? Let me tell it to you. If my particular total price, okay, if it is, let's consider less than 30, then let's consider that it is good, okay. And if my total price is greater than 60, then let's consider it is best, okay. And whatever might be the number between before or after, that can be the average, okay, that can be the average. So how can I get this particular thing? How can I get this particular option in Power Query Editor? If my total price is greater than 30, then it is good. If my price is less than 60, then let's consider it's best, okay, or whatever it might be in between the numbers, then it's considered as average. It's just a normal example, okay, don't take it too seriously. How can less than 60 be the best and all right, so it's just an example. So how can you do this one? How can we do this one in Power BI using Power Query Editor, specifically if you would like to talk about? You are right, Mr. Sunil Kumar. So what we have to do, we have to use the conditional column here. So if I come to conditional column, okay, let's consider the column name as condition, okay, that's what I would like to take the column name, and the column name that I would like to take is the total price, okay. If my total price equals, it's not equal, like it's like greater than, right, it's like greater than 30, then what should I get the message? I should get the message as good. And if I would like to add another clause where I would like to show that total price is less than 60, then I have to get something called as best. So whatever might be the value in between, that's where I will be getting it as average. Now what I am doing, I am clicking on OK. The time when I click on OK, we can see that we have got best, we have got good, so we have got these two. So let's see that. It's 13.25, okay, 13.25. It is obviously greater than 30. That's where we got good, okay. So this is how you have to use a condition. So the reason that I have shared you this question is that when you are working in a finance sector, and when you are working on a stock market, and when you are working on a healthcare domain, so probably you might get these conditions that who are your VIP patients. So for example, if this patient has done some scans or some diagnostics or some treatment with more than let's consider 50,000 or 60,000 or 1 lakh, then they belong to this category. Can you please segregate it? So this is a real-time work that you would be doing there. So at that particular moment, you will be using this one called as conditional column. Okay, here you will be using it as conditional column. All right. So now the same thing is that if you just want to let's consider here we have an option called, let's consider this one. Okay. So I have something called as yum. Here I want to just replace it. I want to just replace the values rather than keeping it yum shortcuts. I would like to define it with a complete name. That's where my medium comes into the picture. Medium, I would like to replace it with a full name, medium. So that's where medium comes here. Okay. So the same way, if you want to replace the value called L, then obviously you will get it with the name. You can replace it with a name called large. So this is how you can replace some values in the existing column itself. Okay, that is allowed. Now coming to the point. So here now let's consider that you want to create one index column. Okay, you want to create one index column. So in general, what do we do is that we consider that as a surrogate key. So why surrogate key is used? This is used in order, for example, if some of the values are repeated in the ID. Okay, so that particular moment, what we will do, we have to segregate it with a unique number. That's where we will go and consider the index column. So how should we consider the index column? Here index you can start either from 0, where the values will start from 0, or you can go and consider starting it from 1, where your index values will start from 1. So if you want to replace it, just double click it and you can keep a name as surrogate key or anything. It's up to you. Okay, so whatever the thing that you would like to keep it, you can use it here. Alright, so that's where your index column works here. That's how your index column will work. Alright. Yes. So what you have told Mr. Anil, that is correct. Yes, that's true. Alright. So now coming to the point, if you want to create a duplicate column, yes, we have an option called duplicate column. So just click on, so if you want to remove it, just right click on it, remove it. And if you want to create a duplicate column, click on duplicate column here, your duplicate column will be created. So all these are very common things that we will be generally doing. Now if you come back, we have something called as under home. If you see that, we have something called as advanced editor. Okay, so this advanced editor, we generally in Power Query editor, there is a language called as M language. Okay, we use M language. M stands for mashup language. So in this particular M language, what we'll be doing is that here we will be writing the query. So what all we have just got it by using single click, what all we have got it, whatever it might be, that we have got it with a single click. Okay, that the time, the place where we have got the source data into Power BI, what all the different steps we have done, everything will be there here under advanced editor. Okay, this will be there under advanced editor. From here itself you can go and change lot of things that will be directly applicable. So Power BI, what it has done is that it had made much more easier by just showing us with everything using a click, drag and drop, but in the backend part, all these queries will be written in the backend part. So that's where your M language comes into the picture. As you can see here, just now we have created a duplicate column. So say this, if you are trying to write a query, you have to write again, you have to write hash double quote duplicate column equal to the table dot duplicate column, the name that you have considered here. Then you have to consider the removed column, surrogate key, again surrogate key copy, then you will get a complete column there. So it had made much more easier for us with just single click. Okay, so that's what we have it under advanced editor. So yesterday in the day 8 we have seen how to use the parameters and how we have to go and create the refresh, which is for incremental refresh, so which will be used to go and increment the latest data that we have. So we have seen this one. Now we have something called as merge query. Okay, merge query and append query. Can anyone just tell me, as soon as I talk about merge query and append query, if you would like to tell or describe or define something to a person who is not aware of Power BI, if you want to tell or describe something about this merge query and append query to someone who is not aware of Power BI, so how are you going to explain in a very easy way about merge query and append query? Can anyone please give me the answer for this one? If you want to explain or define about the merge query and append query to someone who is not aware of Power BI, if that particular guy asks you what is a merge query, what is a append query, then without implementing lot of technical part in a very easy way, how are you going to explain about merge query and append query? That is a simple question. Okay. Merge query used to merge data from different sheets. Okay. Still, Anuj Kumar. Okay, good. Nice try. Merge query used to merge data from different sheets. All right. Any other answer, please? So what I am going to do here, let me just merge consolidation of two tables within existing table, append stacking up, stacking up two tables one by one. Okay, what you have told, that is correct, I am not telling wrong, but don't you think that it has become too complicated? I would like to get the answer in a very simple terms, layman terminology. Now you are on the go. Append is used to add data in row wise. Okay. So let me show you here. I am just going and entering a data. Okay. Let's consider here ID and name. Okay. I am considering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Here I am considering A, B, C, D, E. Alright. Let me consider it as table 1. I am clicking on OK. Alright. So along with this, what I am doing, I am clicking on enter data. Okay. Again, what I am doing here, I am considering CID, then C name, then C phone number. Okay, something I am taking it here. Let's consider 1, 2 alone. Okay, 3 also. Okay, fine. So what I'm doing here, some X, Y, Z. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 3. Okay, something I am taking it here. Now I am taking table 2. Okay, what I am doing here, I am taking table 1 and table 2. Alright, if you see here, in table 1 we have ID and name, In table 2 we have CID, CNAME and C phone number. Alright. So now when I would like to do a merge query, okay, for table 1 and table 2, okay, how many number of columns are you going to get in the output? This is the question. Let me repeat the question once again. I have table 1 2 columns. I have table 2 3 columns. I would like to do merge query for table 1 and table 2. So in output, how many number of columns I am going to get it? Merge query is like VLOOKUP, okay. Fazil Ahmed, merge query refers to combining data from multiple tables by matching columns, okay. Append is like union. Mr. Anish, append is like union or union all in SQL? Union or union all in SQL? It's union or union all? If I would like to explain to someone, let me consider in my way, okay, please correct me if I am, okay, please correct me if I am wrong, okay. So let me explain in this way. If I would like to explain someone about merge query and append query, those who are new to Power BI, okay, in a very layman terminology, I will go in this way. Merge, joining two tables in a column level. Append, merge, join, append, okay, append, again it's combining two tables in a row level. Is this a simple way? What I have told, is this right? Okay, let me repeat once again. The very simple thing. Merge query, joining two tables in a column level basis. Append query, row level basis. Very simple. Simple answer. No technical terminology. Combining data, multiple tables, matching, existing, stacking up. I'm not telling no. So what all you have told, that is right, but it's too complicated. In a very simple way. Whenever you are trying to explain someone, try to use in a very simple way with a real-time terminology. Okay. So now what you have told, the answer, that is also correct. Table 1 I have 2 columns. Table 3 I have 3 columns. Table 2 I have 3 columns. If I try to join these two, the output I will get 5. Okay. In output I will get 5 columns. Okay, that is true. So now what I am doing here, I'll go to table 1, I'll go here, merge query as new. So it is like a joins in SQL, joins, it is joining two tables. Okay, merge query as new. What I am doing here, I am selecting merge query, table 1 2 columns, table 2 also 2 columns. Okay, let me consider this and this as a common here. Okay, so let me click on OK. As you can see that 1 2, this is from first table. Now second table, now what we have to do, we have to expand it. Okay, we have to expand it. So that's where we are getting 3 columns. Okay, that's where we are getting 3 columns here. So this is merge, which is happening in a column level, where all the columns are joining. Now let's talk about the append query, which I have told you in a row level. So what I am doing, I'll go to append query as new. So when I am telling append query as new, first table and the second table I am considering it here, and I am clicking on OK, where new append query will come. See this, first table is ending here. I am repeating once again, first table is ending here. After the first table is ending, the table 2 will start appending after the first table, which is from here. Okay, so all the places before this gap and all the places above this particular table 2, here we will get null information. Okay, here we will get null information. So append query, it is happening it in a row level basis, and the important thing is that the merge query, it is happening it in a column level basis, which is like a joins. So very simple, merge query is like joins and append query is like a union all in SQL Server. So that's what you can go and consider it here. Now coming to the point, let's consider that your team members, for example, there are 2 teams and one of the team member is sharing you the data or the Power BI file. So now they might have loaded this data using their credentials in SQL or cloud or whatever, for Power Apps or Power Platform, from wherever they might have fetch the data into Power BI, the time when you try to open their Power BI file, you cannot go and able to access this data or do some sort of changes. The reason is that the credentials are different. So in order to go and change the credentials, we have to go to data source settings here. Okay, so we have to change the source, which is point number 1. If you have an option of editing the permission, you can go and edit the permissions. Okay, if you want to change the source, you can change the source, and you can choose from where and from what you have to go and get the data. All right, so this is something about data source settings, which we generally use it for credentials and permissions if you want to give it and edit it in our Power BI. Alright, my dear viewers, so today we have learned a lot of interesting things under Power Query Editor: merge query, append query, split columns, duplicates, removing columns, removing rows, getting it back, all these things. I am opening the platform for you for question and answers, and here I have asked two questions here. In the chat box. Okay, question number one is that you have a data set with the sales transaction. Okay, but some rows have missing values in the customer name and sales amount. Some rows are missing. Very simple. Some rows are missing in two columns: customer name column and sales column. Okay, so how would you handle the missing values in Power Query? For example, some values are missing. So how are you going to handle it in Power Query? That is the question number 1. Can anyone please try to reply me the answer? Can you please reply me with the answer? Remove or replace the rows of missing customers. Okay. Is there any other approach for this one? Do we have any other approach for this one? Any other approach that we have it for this one? Removing or replacing the rows of a missing customers. Okay. Any other approach? Filling the missing values. Okay, so you will be filling the missing values if you have 5 or 10. What if the case if you have missing values more than some 10,000, more than 50,000, then how are you going to fill each and every missing value? Alright, so that is the first question. You can answer it to me. Alright. When it comes to the second question is that you have a customer transaction table. Okay, we have a customer transaction table where some customer records appears multiple times. As I have told you, customer records appears multiple times. So how would you remove the duplicate rows based on the customer ID? Based upon the customer ID, how are you going to remove the duplicate rows? So this question is for you all. So those who are watching my live now and those who will be watching this video later. So if you want to remove any duplicate values, then obviously the adjacent column values will also be removed from that particular table, right? So in order to avoid that particular problem, rather than removing the rows or removing the columns which are affecting the adjacent columns, so without removing the values which are affecting the adjacent columns, how we have to remove the duplicate? So that is the question, and obviously the same question with some scenario I have given you here in the second question as well. So please try to respond it. I will be waiting for your answers in the chat box of this video whenever you get the solution for this one. Alright, so we will be connecting with much more interesting topics in the next upcoming sessions, as tomorrow is Sunday, so we do not have these sessions tomorrow Sunday, and again we will continue from Monday. So here what we are going to do, we are going to cover much more topics which are pending in Power BI from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. IST, where you can go through our KnowHow Academy's YouTube channel, and there you can watch over our live sessions. Thank you for choosing KnowHow Academy as your source for IT knowledge. We are always here to help you to navigate the tech world. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out. It's been a pleasure sharing this information with you. Stay curious and keep learning.